Is the green light what I'm supposed to be looking at?
Yes, look at the green light.
Alright, cool.
Camera is right there. The green light's right there.
Okay, close enough.
Hi, T.A.S.
Hi, we're T.A.S.
We're Welcome
the
to
audience isn't T.A.S.
Welcome to the T.A.S. report. Let's do that one more time.
Alright.
1, 2, 3.
Welcome to the T.A.S. report.
It was very forced, but you have no idea how many times it took us to achieve that.
It wasn't easy.
Thank you for coming back.
Yeah, thank you for coming back.
For all 17 people who watched it.
It's really cool. So,
Soulfest. We're in Soulfest. Soulfest.
There's really nothing exciting about the trip down. I've got allergies. It's just, highways. And,
it's about 3 hours.
Yeah, 3
travel.
hours. War of Ages wasn't going on until like 8:30, and Project was headlining from like 9 to 10, so we had to kill a bunch of time. We saw a new band, Cody DeGraff.
Yes.
He's formerly the lead singer
of A Beautiful Oblivion.
A Beautiful Oblivion.
Which was a great band, now broken up.
First time, personally, I've ever seen a piano on stage.
Yeah, it was a beautiful piano, too.
Yeah,
it was like this sort of unfinished wood and like this pretty curl inside of it. They played one hymn, I can't remember what it's called, but they put How Great Thou Art in the middle of it, which really got me going because I love How Great Thou Art.
It is well with my soul.
There is a great backstory to that song, but I don't want to say it because I'll probably get it wrong. That rhymed.
Yeah, I just was going to say that. That rhymes.
Oh, poets!
Oh, that's so bad.
Worst
high five ever. Okay.
And actually, I went up to the guy afterwards. What's his name again?
Cody.
I went up to Cody and I was talking to him. I just said, I love you guys so much. You did such a great job. You had such a great performance. He said, you smiled a lot.
Yeah.
He said, I could see your smile. You had a huge smile. I said, it's because you're playing hymns. Not even our church plays hymns. Our church has a problem with hymns. I have a problem with our church because of that, actually.
Yeah. They love hers, though. So so after Cody DeGraff, we started walking down away from the stage.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw a guy backstage, because the back of the Inside Out stage isn't like,
It's not gated off. There's not like a big wall there.
But it's not a building. It's
all outside.
It's not a building. It's just behind the stage. That's backstage. So we were just walking down there, and I saw this guy, and I was like, oh, that looks like Alex Hamp from War of Ages. He looks like the drummer.
Your exact words were like, that looks like a hamp, or whatever.
That looks like a hamp. I saw him, and then I recognized from one of the videos that they have a black trailer, and they drive the white van to carry their equipment, and then saw the rest of them come out, and it was them, War of Ages.
Turned around.
To do that, we turned around. And
walked towards them boldly.
I went toward them, and I said, you didn't get very far at all. Shook their hands. They were really nice, hanging out. We're like, "Oh man, it's so nice to talk to you." That's
you guys are awesome.
You guys are the best. Blah! And then he just goes, "Yeah, we're just looking for what we're gonna eat, trying to decide what we want to eat.
We're hungry
so far." And so we let them go. We're like, "Okay, well, we're going to we know you guys will be signing later and that sort of thing." It was all good. So they headed out, but we were the first people they talked to when they arrived. First fans to
that was the importance of their future, by the way. Like, that was...
Yeah, that was.
What did we do after that? Oh, we saw we didn't watch Exiting the Fall. Exiting the Fall had played the day before, and we just happened to approach them. We were with our good friend Ben. You'll see plenty of pictures of him, I'm sure. The guy was so cool. He just had a mustache. And apparently Jared looks just like a friend of his.
Yeah, like, you look just like my buddy.
I took a picture of Jared on his iPhone, sent it to his friend. His friend immediately texted back, "What the F?"
I told him that I wish he hadn't sent that picture to him or showed me the picture of his friend, because according to the laws of doppelgangers, that now one of us is going to die because we've seen each other. And he said, "I think you're confusing doppelganger with Highlander."
I wish I got that reference. I still don't.
Highlander? What? How is that not the greatest idea for a show? Sword fights that perpetuate more sword fights.
It was finally time to run over to the Project 86.
To Schwab's teaching.
Yeah.
I
took a tiny bit of video of it, but I really just I wanted to just be able to watch him while he was talking and just not have a camera on him the whole time. So he was awesome. He was funny as usual. Like he's got a lot of time under his belt as a speaker, so he did good.
Right.
We enjoyed ourselves. I'm trying to get as non-horn tooty about this as possible because I just want to talk about how great the experience was. So this time I was like, I'm gonna bring Andrew Schwab something. He put out a book called The Tin Soldiers. It was a book of just like lessons for young men, I guess. I bought it anyway. One of the stories in it is about him being in the airline and all the just what an otherworldly experience it is and how it makes you into the worst version of yourself. I just drew these kind of cool illustrations, I thought, of some of the characters that you encounter in the airline. These are the only 3 that worked out for me that I had time to colorize. I colorized them literally the day before we left and had them printed at my place of work. Anyway, I brought those to him, and I've got to say a really like gratifying thing that happened was when he saw me, he was like, "Oh, you cut your hair."
You know what he said?
What did he say?
When we walked up, actually?
What?
He says, and he goes, "Hey guys, you cut your hair." It's like, not only does he know you and recognize it, but he also knows that you and I. Hey, look, it's you guys again. Every summer I see you.
Yeah. So anyway, so we had that done. That was cool.
Gave you a hug. He said, "Hey, this is awesome." You know, like.
What did we do after that?
That was around like 3 or whatever. I think we just got some food.
We checked out those really cool prayer towers they have. Soulfest has this prayer request deal that they do. They'll have just these huge structures that have like prayer requests on them. They pass out like cardstock for you to write on, and you can write, and there's different walls that represent different things. So like prayers for me, prayers for my family, prayers for my church, prayers for the world. You just go to the appropriate one and you write your thing down on it, and then you stick a thumbtack in it and put it up on the wall.
Let me see if I have a chronology of if we're missing anything.
This is all convenient for us because I just get to edit everything afterwards, so it'll seem like much less time than the 23 minutes we've already taken up.
I know what we did.
What did we do?
We walked around and we were just kind of hanging out.
Oh yeah!
And we walked back there and we saw not only the War of Ages stuff was set up, but at the table next to that was everybody from War of Ages. And I was just like, "Oh, I gotta go talk." Went up, talked to the guitarist. We talked about the melody and his solos. And
his name's Steve, by the way.
Steve Brown. Yep, Steve Brown. But yeah, shot it with him. We talked and hung out, and then and it was just sort of like, okay, well, we're gonna head out. We knew there was a signing for them at 5, and that's where we'd get the pictures, and that's that sort of thing. And walked away, and then dragged them back to.
Jared dragged.
I dragged everybody
Jared
back.
dragged Ben and I back.
Yes, I think I want to get a picture now. So we went back, and I went up to him, and I was like, I feel like I shouldn't be allowed to do this because. And that's what the big deal was, is that all these guys were there just hanging out, no agenda. They just didn't have anywhere to be for like, the next 3 hours, and nobody was there. It would be one thing if they were just chilling and then everybody was talking to them or whatever, but it was just me and waiting for me to talk to them. We went back and we got a picture with them, or I got a picture with them, and I started talking with Steve again and, sort of directing it at Alex. Allie struck up a conversation with Leroy.
I was talking with Alex,
Alex,
not Leroy. Alex, just like the drummer, looks up at me. He says, "So what do you think of this like sweet tea deal that's going around in Soulfest?" Mm-hmm. And he says, well, you paid for that cup because they had these really cool tin cups, and you pay like the $5 for the cup or whatever, and after that the refills are $1 a piece. And I said, that's cool, but if you really want a deal at Soulfest, what we want to do is go to Bolivia's Best. I'm going to post a link to them. They're an organization. They'll sell you like a travel mug at the beginning of Soulfest, and you pay $20 or so for the travel mug, which is a lot. But after that, you get free refills for the entire time you're at Soulfest of all their coffee, iced and otherwise. And this is the best coffee I've ever had. And they're donating the proceeds to like orphanages and stuff. They're a great foundation, and everyone there is always so kind. All the people in that tent are awesome every year. So I always earmark a little bit of my money per year for Bolivia's Best. But Leroy's like, you really think it's a great coffee? He's like, yeah, I think it's great coffee. He's like, are you a connoisseur? I said, I worked at Starbucks for a while. And he said, let's go get some coffee.
All went to get coffee.
I don't know what's happening.
That's Leroy from War of Ages.
For me.
We're getting coffee.
Are you taking a video selfie?
Yeah.
Modify worship playlist.
What this? That wouldn't be that bad.
I don't even know what they're saying, so.
No, I didn't. We did that, and then it was time for the project signing. There was nobody there.
There was no one in line. We had like 2 people in line ahead of us. Andrew Schwab still has my cards that I made him like on the table in front of him. I was getting stuff signed, and he said, these are really cool.
Can you do all of the ones at some point?
Yeah, I tried to. I honestly tried to. I didn't even get to the ones I really wanted to do, but like those are the only ones that worked. They turned at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I colorized them yesterday morning. But anyway, I really wanted to make them great for a while, since I heard you describe it last year.
Do you do this for a living?
I wish. I am a graphic designer for a living, but like I'm planning to do graphic novels and stuff. Eventually, it's just taking a long time to come together.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, but can I possibly get a picture with you
With
guys?
everybody?
'Cause you guys,
When Michael Jordan says, "Hey, nice dunk, dude,"
yeah,
you gotta have a little bit like.
And so they came out, took a picture with me. That was awesome.
We'll insert all these pictures because I've got them on my phone.
Yeah. Took a picture with Jared. I think took a picture with Ben. No, you got a picture with War of Ages.
Yeah, I didn't get a picture with Project A6.
Yeah, that was awesome. So,
yeah, food, and it was time for the War of Ages signing. It was basically the same deal for me. We just went up, and
there was almost no line.
We talked. I asked him how the coffee was.
What do you think of the coffee, Leroy?
I liked it.
Yeah?
Yep, I just
Sick.
had my
Thank
second cup.
There it
I
is.
enjoyed it. Did you really?
He said good. And we were just, chatting. They provided posters if you didn't have something to sign. Yep, did that. And then it was time to get ready for the show.
Yeah, we dropped all of our stuff off at the car. And at this point, we still had maybe 3.5 hours before either of the bands we cared about went on. We went right to the Inside Out stage.
We got to the front.
Put our elbows right up
early.
over the barrier. Yep. 3 hours early. I did not leave. I did not go.
I went to the bathroom 8 times because...
Worth it.
Yeah, it was. And it worked out because nobody ever came to take my spot. We waited for a little while, and the next band came on.
Violet Burning was good.
Violet Burning.
Violet.
Not with an N.
Yeah.
I like the color.
Yeah.
And
they were good. They were like an older rock band sound to them.
Yeah, they had a
very
great
weird,
drummer.
Great drummer.
It was sort of contemporary.
Yeah.
Gibson too.
Yeah.
Bass player had a Gibson Thunderbird. And,
I don't know what guitars are.
And
what's music?
The singer. They were a 3-piece. The singer / guitarist had a Gibson Les Paul. So we watched them. They were good, and I mean to check them out later because they sounded really cool. And then War of Ages came on.
And then the crowds assembled.
War of Ages started. We've got footage.
We'll show it.
It was awesome.
Beautiful.
Everything was great. I got eyed by Steve in the middle of one of his melodic solos. He saw me, and he gave
I
this.
also received the eyeball from the bassist, from the... Not from the bassist. They didn't have a bassist. From the secondary guitarist.
The rhythm.
Brandon.
Yeah, gave him the thumbs up, and he gave me and I called him out afterwards.
They knew.
Yeah, I was like,
they knew they were getting the love.
He spotted me in the crowd. He's like, yeah, and that sort of thing. So the show was awesome. He staged crowd surfed. It was awesome when he crowd surfed. He was because he's on everybody, and his foot came down on this little girl. It's not little girl
not like a 5-year-old, but
physically
just
little, a short girl, and she didn't even she wasn't given or trying to push it off. It was just a foot coming down.
It was just shock. That was a beautiful concert.
Yeah.
We got our one more song from them.
Right, they came back out and played.
They did All Consuming Fire, I think is what their last song?
Before the encore, yeah. So, and it was awesome. It was a great show. After that, it was a Project 86 show. So the show was great. It was so great that I didn't take any footage.
None.
At all.
All right, I'd like to intervene
Don't
here.
go too long. We've only got 8 minutes before we're gonna get going.
Like, I'm thinking, I don't know whether or not I want to bring my camera because it poured down rain earlier. Oh no, don't bring your camera to the Project 6 concert. I've got you covered. I'll take video of it. No need to have your your camera out where it might get rained on. Yeah. I was like, sure. It's like, I just need footage of the Project 6 concert so I can do them justice when we review them. And of course, he got plenty of footage of the War of Ages concert, but when it came time for the concert that, like, I've been waiting this whole year for.
I didn't get any.
None! To their credit, I do believe it's because he was so awed by how awesome that performance
I realized I was having too much fun. What did they start with? Sincerely, Ichabod. Alright, I'll tell you about the concert. It was an awesome show. Started off with a 300 soundbite. You know, this is where we fight. This is where they die.
I don't watch that movie to, like, start my day off with my Cheerios and whatever, so, like, I didn't get that, but every man in the crowd screamed that, which was awesome.
Yeah, we knew it.
Project 6, they have showmanship. They know. They're so gosh darn fun to watch. The only thing that got in the way of my concert enjoyment is that there was this little girl, not the same little girl in the audience, who the security grabbed and pulled to the front to make sure they could keep an eye on her. And we're right in the middle. When Andrew Schwab comes up, the whole crowd surges forward so they can be right under him, and the little girl's like, you must be this tall to ride the roller coaster.
You know what he did? He called out people in the audience. He was calling out, he would...
You in the hat!
He's like, you in the blue hat, I see you! Come
3
forward!
steps forward! What was awesome, what was really awesome is they finished. The entire audience is screaming, I need truth! And we screamed it so loud, but he just looked at us in disappointment, dropped the mic, and walked away. And then the smoke just consumed the stage. Or, chanting like the one more song. So after like maybe 60 seconds of just agonizing, like, come back out, like, one more song.
It really stood
He
out
walked
there.
back out and looked at us.
Yeah.
Figured it out. Looked so disappointed in his fans, and then he was like, I'm gonna do one more song.
Got one more for you.
You had better sing this.
Yeah. It was Fall Goliath Fall. Came out into the, into the audience, like, stood up on the gate. And it was awesome.
My computer could, like, brand a cow right now.
The concert ends and we rush down to the table, I got a picture with the bass player. He did an awesome job. He was an awesome bass player. And we talked to the drummer, who was amazing, and Allie was talking to the guitar player. Finally, we get a chance to talk to Schwab, walk up. Because we're waiting, we're letting everybody get their turn. Nobody wants the dude who has a million things to say to be in the front of the line. Because it makes less time for them, whereas we've got nothing to... We'll just stay there all night and follow them home. So...
Don't say that.
Walked up, and Schwab gave me and Allie a look, like, real quick, and just like that. And I was like, come on.
He, like, hugged both of us.
Gave both in one giant, I'm in the
giant middle. Andrew Schwab hug.
Come here. Okay. All right, man. That was excellent.
Thank you for being on.
That was a hug.
And he said, do you want to say what he said? I think you should say what
he said. Thank you for being our #1 fan.
Man, that was excellent.
Thank you for being on.
That was a hug.
#1.
I almost cried a little bit.
Then, at the beginning of the trip, we were talking about Project 86. I'm like, he must know your Twitter handle when he retweets. Walking away, and Schwab just goes, "Hey, you gotta tweet me the listener thing, but never destroyed."
I can't ask for better stuff. I don't think I can go back to Soulfest. I don't know how it could be better than what it was this year.
So afterwards, War of Ages came by. We talked to them for a while. Alex had some feelings.
Lots of feelings. He had about 20 minutes worth of feelings.
He had serious 20 minutes worth of feelings. Remember, Leroy, Alex was saying, like, because we're not just musicians, like, we're friends. You guys are my friends, right? And Leroy was just like, hey, I want to make something clear. None of you guys
are my friends.
And I said, we are best friends, Leroy. That's it. We'll get back at you. We've got to get back to the real world, which is going to be tough.
We're going to go see the Wolverine?
We're going to go see the Wolverine now.
We'll let you guys know how that was. So, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for, staying tuned, watching the second episode.
For the
TAS Report. Never get it right.
We'll never get it right.
All right. See ya.